just hold your horses. We'll be with you shortly. We'll just soak in that picture for a moment, and we'll talk to him in just a minute. So, Shaq, now he's smiling. Oh, he's doing a car promo too. So just hang on 1 second, Mr. Champ. We're gonna be with you in a moment. Hang tight. So after Shaq put the chair to my back, as we were being separated at the end of the night after, he got in my face again after the camera stopped rolling, he said, maybe you ought to go hang out with your roller derby friends. You have less of a chance getting hurt around those girls. I'm like, say it to their face. Say that very statement to the face.
For one,
in that locker room.
Shaq, we're not all girls. It's girls, guys, and non-binary pals.
Are there any womans on the team?
What's up?
Are there any womans on the team?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Don't even acknowledge. Please don't acknowledge.
Queen, give me a minute.
It's guys, gals, and non-binary pals, Shaq. So get it right.
We're gonna get
for two. We refer to ourselves as skaters for the most part. Right. For two, Eurothrash clotheslined you out of your chair last season.
I remember well. She's got the hardest head I've ever seen.
And for three, Shaq, you said it to Steve, but you sure as shit didn't say it to me or anyone else from the Knockouts. So put your money where your mouth is.
Shaq's very busy. He's running his mouth all around the world. He was on social media today. He and Joey Jet Avalon have a match in Green Bay coming up shortly, and he decided to make it winner gets to beat me with a crowbar. And Joey Avalon would love to beat my ass with a crowbar. So, and now the promoter of that promotion in Green Bay is like, hey, maybe that's something. I don't want to be the stipulation in a match where I get my ass kicked. I get my ass kicked enough. But that's where we're at right now. And I've told Shaq that this whole thing since this went down was stupid, and I'm going to tear him down everywhere I go. My voice is heard many places, and I am not speaking highly of Notorious Shaq the way I once did of the Generational Treasure. Two different people, two different career arcs for sure. Shogun Chris Logan, if he found out about the shenanigans, would not be a happy guy, and that is one of the great men in the business. But with that being said, since we are going to be, at roller derby Saturday night, and we're going to be having the fun there that we always have, why not, Shaq? Why don't you come out and talk to those girls, or talk to the non-binary, talk to anybody
talk to the skaters,
talk to the skaters, talk to any of those athletes on that track about where I should work. And I will wipe the blood off the track after they beat the shit out of you. So, Shaq, I'm going to be in Franklin Park Friday night. If you want to come to CSW, we can have a chat. I'll be at the HF Auditorium.
We'll put Shaq in a room with Boss.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to mess with Boss. There are so many skaters you don't want to mess with. You think Stone was a fight ref, and Stone doesn't like to fuck with these people. So I'm just saying, Shaq, you talk a lot of shit. You went past the line hitting me with a chair. So I invite you to come anywhere I am if you want to continue this conversation. Other than that, you can puss out, and I'll see you at spring break in April at Rocket Pro. But meanwhile, now that we've talked a little knockouts, let's talk blockheads.
Rosie is saying, no, we're not moving on.
Very first of the evening. It is the Wrestle League Women's Champion, former King JR.
Boo!
King JR. And probably one of the most polarizing figures in all of social media, JR Lindsay. JR, I'm going to give you I'll compliment you in this way. You certainly have become a lightning rod for controversy. You talk so much shit. You should be sponsored by Pampers. Now, I was having a conversation with our friend Paragon. Paragon called you out on this show, and Son had said, "Son, do better." And I'm like, Paragon, have you seen what this fool's doing? And he's like, Steve, that's not what I meant. So you've got Paragon concerned. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. What, you're going to therapy 4 times? What is happening?
First and foremost, you're Queen.
What?
We have no idea what he's saying when he's yelling.
You can't yell on the speakers you have, my friend.
I got some Q-tips right here in the car, Red. See if you need to clean your ears. I said, bow down to your queen.
Well, I heard it that time.
My queen is at home in bed. So
First and foremost, I'm glad we're done talking about people that don't matter. J.R. Lindsay is the center of the conversation, Stephen. You want to know what's been going on, Stephen? You might go on Facebook and the Instagram and the YouTube and the Twitter, and you might see me doing therapy sessions and getting smacked by females and cursed out and screamed at. Stephen, social media paints a very different picture of what is my reality. I'm a victim in everything I've been through recently, Stephen.
oh shit. Another victim, Steve.
Since March J. Rocket became a victim, everybody's a fucking victim.
Right.
John is a victim. J.R. Lindsay's a victim. LeBron James is still flopping all over the place when he doesn't get hit.
LeBron James is the GOAT. Don't start that, Stephen. Don't start that. LeBron is the GOAT. I refuse to believe otherwise.
You ain't got to believe otherwise. Nigga, the fucking truth is how many fucking rings?
How many
The
points?
nigga got
How
to
many
get a
points,
son.
Red?
The nigga
How
got to
many
get a
points?
son.
How many
The nigga
points?
got to get a son to play. Help your old daddy out, son. Help me try to
Average
get a ring.
out those points and see what it really says.
Michael Jordan will never be the GOAT because he's bald. A shiny head bastard could never be my GOAT. Never in
He
reality.
ain't gotta be your GOAT, son. Your ass was sucking your mama's titty when Jordan was dominating. So ask your mama. Cause
I'm a formula baby. I wasn't sucking no titties.
that explains a lot. All them fucked up chemicals got you fucked up. That's why your face look like it does. That's why your mind.
And speaking about
fucked.
talking about people that don't matter, Russell, didn't you only make it 1 round fight reffing for us? 1 round.
I would ref anyone.
We haven't seen you in a couple years.
You think I'm scared of a bunch of tippy toes on roller skates, whatever them things called?
Oh shit.
Clearly you are.
Luxy calling you out, Luxy calling you.
Don't go down the Shack Road, brother. You're not going to like it.
Steve, do you know you should feel bad for me? For some reason, I don't know why it comes off the way it does when J.R. Lindsay says things, but when I say things, people tend to like have a lack of empathy for me. Anything bad that happens to me, they think I deserve it because they think I'm an asshole. They think I'm a jackass. They think I'm full of myself. Like I don't even understand where the idea comes from, Steve. I could never be one of those people that's just self-absorbed. You know, the type of people that all they want to talk about is their self. They watch their matches all day. The type of person to wear their own face on their shirt. Like, I just could never be that self-absorbed.
All right.
You just started this conversation saying you're the only thing that matters and that you're what the conversation needs to center around.
That's not being self-absorbed. That's being honest.
Okay.
So, all right. I'll give you this. All right. I have known you a while. I have fought in the trenches against you. I have fought in the trenches with you. When our paths have intersected in many places, I have respected you as a person. I like you for the most part as a person. The Russell that I know, I consider my friend. I think you are good people. I think you have a good soul. I think you are talented as hell. However, whatever the fuck happened to you since we locked horns and you went and got rings from some very important people that put their faith and trust in you, you basically took our respect and admiration and jammed it up the world's ass by stealing a dog, treating your girlfriend like shit, and now robbing elitely talented women wrestlers of their title and calling yourself the Wrestle League Women's Champion. I could go down that list and talk to you about those wrestlers that deserve better than what you have done.
They don't deserve shit, Steve. You understand? They don't deserve nothing. You okay? I was a good person, Steve, and you know what happened? You were there in that ladder match when I got screwed over out of my championship. Did anybody feel bad for me when Hot Rod Daddy Andy fucked JR Lindsay over? Or did the word just move on?
We moved on.
Exactly. That's my point right there. People don't feel bad for you. Or at least when it comes to me, people don't feel bad. When I tried being the good guy, Steven, the world fucked me over and then they moved on and left me in the dust. So as far as I'm concerned, everything that happens to anybody now at my hands, they deserve it.
So of all the championships in the various places you work to go after, what made you go after the Wrestle League Women's title?
Because it's easy competition, Steve. Women wrestlers suck.
All right. Now look. All right. I've given you the benefit of the doubt. I've tried to give you whatever little flowers I could. You will not come on this show and talk that kind of shit. Okay? Professional wrestling, whether it be man or woman in 2025, is indivisible at this point. There are women out there that outwork men regularly. I want you to walk up to Sierra and talk that shit. She will break her foot off in your ass. Muscle Mommy, she's coming. She's coming. And Steve Michaels, the Rocket Pro Wrestling champion, the man who's about 6 foot, 500 feet tall, weighs about 7,000 pounds, and is a force to be reckoned with, backed up when Mommy got in that ring. You're going to have to deal with these people.
Let me tell you, you know what? It's so funny you bring up Muscle Mommy. You know, that match that I took part of against Lulu, that was supposed to be her match, Steve. But for some reason, something happened by just some stroke of like unluckiness. I heard through the grapevine, Muscle Mommy got attacked by somebody, and then the opportunity just fell through. So, you know, it sucks to be Muscle Mommy, but that isn't somebody I'm too much worried about.
Gee, I wonder who that was.
Yeah, I think it was Tiger King or whatever that dude's name is.
Okay, so you pissed off Muscle Mommy. I saw her promo. She's not happy. I don't think, I admire your brazen approach to where you're at right now. You want people to watch, you want people to click, you want people to acknowledge, well, you got it. People are paying attention to you. People are commenting on everything that you're shoveling out there, for better or worse. Here's the thing. Once upon a time, I would have thought you had the talent to back that shit up. But with the way you've been working lately, I'm not so sure. And Russell, I have stood across from you in that ring. I have taken an ass whipping by you. I have taken the best you had, and it was damn good. You beat me. I beat you. You beat me. We our story might not be over. My career's coming to an end, but our story isn't over yet. I took umbrage on the sacrifices you made. I gave you all the credit in the world for being a fighting, thriving personality in this business. And, we all gave you your respect, and that wasn't enough. You couldn't do it the way everybody else does it and work your way along, get better, work harder, be better. You had to take the shortcut. And now you're wandering around having therapy sessions in public, and you're fighting with your girlfriend Now, Brittany Kay, nice girl. I have been fond of her ever since I met her. She's good people. She's badass. She's as tough as nails. And you're going to disrespect her by talking this mess? That is not a great way to save a relationship, sir.
Steve, fuck that relationship. I don't know if you saw today, that relationship died when Wrestle League had Don Capri announce me versus Brittany for the Wrestle League Women's Championship next Saturday. So that relationship is dead. And let me tell you something else, Steve. I like, it just really pisses me off so bad. People aren't comfortable with you doing things your way. They want you to do things their way. And you know what? Please allow me to talk, because this is going to be one of those things that sounds crazy coming out of my mouth. But then once you look back at this and sit back and think, you're going to see just how much sense it makes. Paragon, for example. When I fought him, I wasn't a champion. I wasn't even sniffing a championship match. And he told me, you're already a king. You don't even know it. You're so focused on proving that you're a king to everybody else, that you're a champion to everybody else. You don't even know that you don't have to convince anybody. All you have to do is believe it. And so now I'm doing it my way, Steve. Now I believe I'm royalty. Now I believe I'm a champion. People want you to be humble, and then they want you to stop being humble, and then they want you to be humble, and then it just flips back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You can never be too humble. You can never be too cocky. When I was just that little young, little happy kid that was like talking about his emotions and all that stuff and making those albums and shit, then everybody said, you're too humble. You need to be more confident in yourself. And now I went my own way and gaining that confidence and gaining that respect for myself. And now it isn't the way other people wanted me to do it. So now I'm the bad guy.
You know, there might be a whiff of accuracy and truth in that statement. I'm not going to totally shit all over that. I could, but I'm not going to. I think you listened to what Paragon had to say, but I'm not sure you heard him, because I don't think this is what he meant. You would never see Paragon go after a women's title. Not that he couldn't, but he wouldn't. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have, but maybe you shouldn't have. It just seems like there are other avenues out there where you could have been confident and you could have dominated, you could have done everything that you wanted to do. But to go down this road, especially at Wrestle League where your girlfriend is a superstar.
Let me ask you this then, Steve. You know how you said Paragon wouldn't do this, so I probably shouldn't? I lead by example, Steve. I don't wait for examples to be led to me. You think when I become a millionaire, I'm going to be a first generation millionaire in my family, Steve. Mark those words. Now, if I base that off of my family's history and I say no one else pushed the boundaries to live financially free for the rest of their life and to become a millionaire and change everyone else's lives for generations, if I waited until somebody else did it, or even worse, I decided I'm not going to be the one to go towards that journey because no one else has done it yet, then what is that going to make me, Steve? Sometimes you have to be the one to set the example. The blueprint won't always be handed to you. Sometimes you're going to have to go to the workshop, write on that paper, and make the blueprint for people after you to follow. And it just seems like that's the road I'm taking.
You know, I got no problem with what you said there regarding generational wealth and that kind of stuff. I just don't know how you equate your blueprint for your life and your millions with being the Wrestle League Women's Champion. Your opinion and your thought process is like a giant meatloaf. There's every fucking ingredient you had in the kitchen in this pile of beef, and you baked it at 400 for 25 minutes. And we're looking at this big lump of meat. We're not sure exactly what it means, but here we are. And I'm not sure even ketchup can save it. Then I'm looking at your championship photographs, your pictures with your titles, And this whole purple. I mean, are you homaging the Paragon? Or are you I called you the Grimace because that's what came to my mind immediately. I mean, you could be Purple Rain rerun. I mean, there are many ways we can go here.
Steve, purple and pink are my favorite colors now. It has nothing to do with anybody else. Let me tell you something. J.R. Lindsay is done walking in the shadows of somebody else.
But don't walk in the shadows of Barney.
Am I here to be talked to, Steve, or am I here to be disrespected? Because
I'm trying to reason with you because I know somewhere in all of that festering bullshit is a good kid and a hell of a wrestler. And I'm trying to throw the rope so you can pull yourself back off the cliff because you're falling, kid. I don't know what the fuck this is. I love you, but you're hard to love right now.
Okay. What do you want me to do, Steve?
What do I want you to do? I want you to be the guy that I know you are. I want you to be that guy that jumped off a ladder to try to win a match. Did you get screwed by Daddy Andy in that thing? I mean, that depends on who's looking at it. There are a lot of things that happened that night that were unfortunate for you. But that shouldn't have stopped you. That shouldn't have made you snap.
Steve, let me tell you why that made me snap. I almost got my fucking neck broken.
I was there. I saw every moment of it.
You want to talk about silence being louder than any other noise in the room? You go back to that sunset flip. Then you want to talk about holy shit moments? The first chant of that night, the first match that chant came from, just so happened to be the match that I was in. Then when I got RKO'd off the ladder, and then making it through all that, Steve, I climbed back to my feet and I speared Jesus off the ladder. You saw it, and everybody else saw it. I grabbed that championship, I raised it high, and I fulfilled my promise, and I told everybody I was going to Russell Shuffle with it, back when I was doing that stupid dance. And let me tell you what was so important about that match, Steve. My father was in that crowd. Two of my best friends from high school were in that crowd, and that was the first time all three of them were at the same match together. And I thought this was going to be my moment, Steve, to make everyone else proud. I thought this was going to be the moment I could take the championship back home and show my family. This is why I come home at 1 o'clock in the morning after practice and shows for it. And I wanted to show them that it all paid off. And then I got fucked over. And like we said earlier, the world moved on. I didn't get my rematch. And the world said, so what? So it's kind of hard for me to be in the business of being passionate for people now and considering people's thoughts when it comes to decisions that I make. Because in the end, so what?
Well, I mean, we certainly have gone down the road of ambivalence this week. What you're saying is not exactly what he said, but some of your points were felt on Monday Night Raw with the big thing that the internet's talking about. And that's fine. You want to think that you're a victim. You want to think that you've been wronged, and that's why you have to lash out and do your own thing. Red, you've been in this a long time. You've seen a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Tell me what you see when you look at that young man.
Shit.
From where he was to where he is now.
Shit. I'm just saying that this is the same guy that told us the best dance ever was the Russell Shuffle, and then he just dogged his own self and said it was a stupid dance. So can we really take this shit seriously, Steve? I mean, come on now. I mean, let's be honest. Me and you got a few years under our belts. We've seen some shit. We know some shit though also. And we know when
I know a little shit. You know more.
And we know when people have fell off the fucking ledge. We know when the cheese has slid off the cracker. We know when it's time to call the rubber suit man with the white jacket and the white padded robe. We know. Unfortunately, this young man ain't figured this shit out. Now, he want to go after the women's title, and I mean, it ain't the first time I've seen this shit happen. Okay, probably definitely won't be the last. I mean, and like you said, he done got all the clicks and all the views and all this shit. And he going after all the people. But is it good business? I mean, let's be honest. Are people really knocking down his door?
Let me be the
But
answer.
now he has a chance, which I totally disagree. And this is my personal opinion. His separated girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, whatever the hell, whatever the state they are in right now. She doing her thing. She got her own life. She's her own woman. And he gets mad. And here's the fun part, Steve. Did you watch the promo? Did you watch the promo? He called wrestling a bunch of bullshit. So, if you the women's champ, wrestling champ, this is a bunch of bullshit. Then why are you in it? If it's
Fair
a bunch
question.
of bullshit, why are you in it? But nevertheless, he gets mad at her, and then he puts his hands on her.
Because that's what real men do.
Oh shit.
That's
Lux,
fucked
you want to jump in, Lux? Lux, jump in.
We now abdicate our time.
You know, I was sitting here, I was having empathy for you, Russell. I was thinking, here is someone who is hurting and is lashing out and needs support and needs moral support, and now you want to be a punk ass bitch and say a real man hits women?
Yeah.
Nothing real about that, brother.
Brittany
Nothing.
Kate could whoop your fucking ass.
And will at Wrestle League
And
Anniversary.
you know it.
Let me tell you something.
Whoop those braids off your head.
Let me tell
Which
you.
ain't hard to do.
You know what? I'm going to attack this piece by piece. First off, I'm officially denouncing you as my mother.
Ooh.
You were already disowned.
Second of all, fuck your empathy. I don't need it because your fucking husband is the reason I'm in this situation. And every step of the way when he did that bullshit, you stood by him with a smile on your face. So as far as I'm concerned, you just as bad as him. Now, see, Red, you want to talk about, is anyone knocking down his door? Is it really good business? You know, I don't really see you as a social media savvy person, so you might be a little uneducated. Let me just school you real quick. When we were running,
nigga,
when we were
please,
running in the
nigga,
Ravens room,
I was doing social media
when
while
we
you
were
was at
running in the
home
Ravens room,
jacking off the
we were in the
Playboy.
Ravens room.
So shut the fuck up
Now listen,
when it comes to
we
social
were in the
media.
Ravens room.
You don't know
right?
shit. You a
Steve, did you ever
stupid
make one of those
jackass.
shows?
You stupid
Steven,
ass. You want to be a
Steven,
bitch? Be a
Did
bitch.
you ever make one
You
of
gonna
those
keep
shows?
being a bitch.
I
After
think
Brittany
what's
whoop your ass up,
happening.
you
I
gonna be
think
a
what's
Did you ever
happening.
make
You're
one
going
of
to
those
be
shows?
Russell. You've been a bitch. You've always been a bitch. After this shit is over, you're still gonna be a bitch. When
It
you
takes
rap,
one to know one,
you're a
shiny
bitch.
head.
I have a
You
It
are
question.
takes
a
one to
bitch.
know one.
I have a
shiny
question.
head.
Queen bitch.
It
I have a
takes one to know
question.
one, shiny head.
Russell,
I
do you
can
have
have
a humiliation kink?
What?
Do you have a humiliation kink?
That might be
Is
the
that
best
what this
question
is?
I've ever had.
What
Because
makes
I
you say
think
that?
that's what this is. I think you're enjoying this. I think you're enjoying being screamed at. I think you're enjoying being torn down. I think you're going to enjoy getting your ass beat. Because I
No,
think that's what. No. We're good. We're done. We know what's happening here. It's all good.
No, it's not a humiliation kink. I just like playing with all of your emotions and getting you riled up like the puppets that you are. I'm a puppeteer. I'm a master at this shit, okay? Whatever I
No,
want you to do, you're
you're a
going to do
master.
for me.
You're a
Now let me
master
tell you
not
this.
washing your face.
We were
That's why you
at the
got all
Ravens
that
Room
fucking
VR.
acne up
Hey,
there.
see, Red, talk to me when you get some Just for Men and black that gray beard up.
Nigga,
We were
I
at the
don't need
Ravens
to
Room
do that.
VR,
Nigga, when you
and
get my
I
fucking
just
age,
so happened
nigga, when
to
you get my
contribute
age,
to
you
drawing
come
one of the
fucking
biggest
talk to
crowds
me.
that show
Yo,
had
yo,
ever seen.
nigga, you still
Anniversary
stuck in
12.
titty, nigga. So
Anniversary
shut the fuck
12.
up.
Anniversary 12. We were
Hey.
running in the Ravens Room VR. A couple months before that, we debuted at the Ravens Room VR. When I fought Brittany for that stupid ass dog, that was the biggest crowd the Ravens Room had ever seen. Off our backs. That's what you call good business. We went to Lincoln Hall. I had the rap beef with Montrose, whatever his name is. That was one of our biggest crowds since we came to Lincoln Hall. Now, Homewood. Russell versus Brittany, J.R. Lindsay versus Brittany K, round 2 for the women's championship. Spoiler alert, she's getting her ass beat. And it's going to be in front of a packed out crowd again because J.R. Lindsay is good business.
Nigga, if you was good business, get the fuck out of Chicago. But
I've
don't
been
nobody
out of
want
Chicago.
your bull. Don't
I've been
nobody
out of
want
Chicago.
your bullshit.
I've
Don't
been out of
nobody want your
Chicago.
bullshit.
I went to Memphis and wrestled Brittany, and the match has almost 50,000
Nigga,
views.
oh, you wrestle somebody that you fucking live with. Nigga, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and guess what? Guess what, C-Red? That match got almost 50,000 views on my channel, by the way. Not anybody else's. I
Yeah,
didn't need
because your
anybody
ass
else's.
clicked
Yeah,
49,000
those
of them.
views were for Brittany. Those views were for Brittany.
You think they came to see her
And
over
this
me?
motherfucker kept clicking
Those
the button.
views were for Brittany.
You
Click,
think
click,
they
click,
came
click,
to
click,
see
click,
her over
click,
me?
click. Click, 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 click. I can do that too, nigga. Click, 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 click.
Let me tell you something. Numbers like that don't come to people that ain't good business. I'll tell you that right now.
Okie dokie, artichoke.
Are y'all gonna be there to see Brittany get her ass whooped?
I'm gonna be there to see you get your ass whooped.
That'll never happen. That will never happen.
And nigga, I would never pay.
What's
Because if
gonna
I
end up
pay,
happening?
that's putting money
You
in your
gonna see her
pocket.
get
And
put
you
on
will
her
never
back.
earn my shit.
You're gonna see her get put on her neck, and then you're gonna see the referees take her to the back, and they're gonna say your winner by TKO, and still the women's champion is J.R. Lindsay. Whether anybody in this call likes it, anybody in that crowd likes it or not.
Okay. Well, that was unpleasant.
Sure, Jan.
I have one final question for you, JR. Is this all really necessary? I mean, all of this, all of your posturing on social media, getting into a verbal altercation with one of the legends of this business, getting into a verbal altercation and talking down to one of the great roller derby performers that I've ever seen. See, we invited you on this show to try to talk out what was happening. And I did not come into this thing ripping on you like I probably should have or could have. I tried to appeal to the better side of you, which, I thought maybe was still there. But now I'm not so sure because you came on the Power Hour and you talked down to C-Red. That's not a good idea. And then you disrespected Lux, Cactus Rack.
Did I disrespect them?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. The adults are talking. Shut your mouth. You disrespect women. You disrespect the legends.
You disrespect dogs.
You disrespect dogs. You may have 50,000 clicks, but they're not good. There are people looking to see what kind of insane tendencies you're up to. And that is like the guy that used to be the juggalo that would jump on light fixtures. That's where you're at right now. You have a very narrow gimmick that has a very short lifespan. And you better have something on the backside of this to back that shit up. Or if you thought you got forgotten after you got that RKO off the top of that ladder, you'll be gone just as quick if you don't have something to follow this. So maybe you beat Brittany, maybe you don't. I don't know. I like to think Brittany's a better wrestler than you, but any given Sunday.
You're so funny, Steven.
I'm just hoping that you do understand what you're doing and you have a plan. Because if you're just making it up as you go and trying to out ridiculous yourself like you have been doing on social media, that is going to wear thin on everybody, and then you are going to end up nowhere. And I don't want to see that, man, because I like you. At least I did. I respected you. At least I did. I felt kind of bad for you. I don't really feel bad for you now because you're not the J.R. Lindsay that I knew. I don't know who the fuck you are, but you better have your head on a swivel, kid, because there are a lot of people looking for you.
Steve, did I come in here and disrespect anyone, or did I just respond to what they said?
I don't know.
Cactus called me a punk ass bitch. Steve Red started coming at my popularity, and all
I called you a punk ass bitch after you were proud about hitting women. So
right,
go
you earned it. You earned it.
Go cry me a river.
Well, now wait.
I can't wait to see you crying.
You don't disrespect the people on this show, my friend. We brought you here in good faith to talk to you about your upcoming opportunity and what you're doing. We're promoting you. I wish we were promoting you a different way, but we're still promoting you.
You know what? I want you to think about this, Steve. You don't like to talk about this good version of me that you think still exists, even though I think he's fucking dead. Maybe he does still exist, Steve. You know, maybe somewhere he's in there, the one that doesn't have to do crazy shit to get attention, the one that doesn't have to be an asshole or be a jackass or do all these other crazy things. And maybe that kid that wants to go about shit the right way is still there. Or maybe he never left. Maybe he just had to evolve, Steve. Maybe he just had to be just as cold-hearted as the world can be. You know, it's so funny how you were saying not all clicks are good clicks, but in that same token, a click is still a click. You see people now tell me if I'm lying, Steve, and this is another thing that might sound crazy at first, but it actually makes sense. You probably on Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see people complain about Monday Night Raw or AEW, and they be like, "Oh, this show sucks. This show's bad. This is bad." But when you go down their Twitter wall, they've been watching for years. They watch. They keep tuning in, putting more money in the wrestlers' pockets that they complain about, and they don't even realize they're part of the circus. They keep tuning in as much as they want to trash it, and then they want to become smart marks and tell you, I'm giving you a view, but it's because I don't like what you do. When they don't even realize they've already lost the race before they even got in it. Because regardless of where you're watching to support me, if you come to a show and you want to see me win, or you want to see somebody kick me in the fucking face, right or wrong, Steve, you still went on Eventbrite and purchased that ticket.
Sure. I mean, of all the rantings you've had tonight, that makes probably the most sense of anything you said. And I never called you stupid. I never called you dumb. I feel like you're a little naive, and I feel like you are not really in control of your emotions or actions. Therapy might be good for you. I don't know if it's going to save your relationship. I don't know if it's going to save your soul, but I'm always going to believe, Russell, that somewhere in there is the friend I had. And I will watch you through all of this crazy bullshit. And I will feel bad about it because I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't think it needs to be. But that's not my call to make. You have to walk your path. You have to speak your truth. And if hitting women and disrespecting your elders and not recognizing the people that have come before you as being important is the way you're going to go down that road, it's going to be a very lonely road, my friend.
Steve, it's already been a lonely road.
Well, like I said, every step is a new path. Every dawn is a new day, and you have it in yourself to make a change, but only you can change. And maybe you don't want to. Maybe this is the new you. Maybe we all have to accept this women's champion is here to stay. And that Russell that I knew that I fought, that I went to war with, that I respect, maybe he's dead. I guess time will tell. But, brother, we make predictions on this show all the time. You will not walk out of Anniversary with that belt. You will walk out of that show with nothing but regret and pain, because they're coming for you, Russ. They're coming for you.
I bet you I walk out with my championship, Steve. And you know what? I love it. Just even when I was that good kid that everybody wanted to praise, even then I love being doubted because it makes me stronger. So I'm glad nobody thinks that I'm going to beat Brittany. I'm glad nobody wants to see me win. You know what? I even heard her family was going to be there. I'm glad they going to be there to see their relative get dog walked.
J.R. Lindsay, the women's champion of Wrestle League, will be appearing at the HF Auditorium. It's March 29th, correct?
Yes.
March 29th, in that building, the Knockout Dome, the house the Knockouts built that you ran down tonight. You'll be in their building. And Wrestle League's anniversary show, the biggest show of the year, you will fight Brittany Kay. And not only will you be fighting for your title, but you will be fighting for your life, and you will be fighting for your soul, young man. And in the end, I hope it's worth it. I guess time will tell.
It will, Steve. And I'll leave you with this. You have my word on this too, by the way.
Okay.
If everything goes the way that you predict it will, and you think I'm gonna have a lonely road and take a lot of hard bumps, and at the end of it, I'm gonna think to myself, it's time to go back to being the good kid that everybody knew. And I realized the error of my ways. You're gonna be the first person I come to, and I'm gonna tell you I'm ready to change and I was wrong. But if at the end of this journey, man, if I end up achieving more greatness than I have right now, I'm gonna come to you the same way, and I'm gonna tell you I was right.
I will wait for that day, and I will be here to have that conversation. Thank you for joining us on the Power Hour, champ. Good luck on the 29th. You're going to need it.
No, Brittany gonna need it. May the queen.
We're going to let, and there he goes. Well, that was unpleasant in just about every way. Before we welcome our next guest, do we have thoughts on that? You know what? I thought he'd come on here, we'd have a few laughs, and we would watch JR be JR, but Red, I don't know. The way he talked to you, the way he talked to Cactus.
Dude,
Maybe.
First of all, I don't give a fuck how you think you talk to me. I give two shits. I am totally against any man condoning putting his hands on women. That's just my personal belief.
I mean, let's clarify this real quick. Intergender wrestling is a whole different story. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking.
And I get that, but he is so full of himself. Why, I don't know. Maybe it's because he ate too many McDonald's hamburgers in his Grimace outfit. That regardless, you don't make a statement like that. You just don't. And first of all, the shit sounded so bad. Was it just me? Or anybody else felt, maybe I could be wrong. And I've been known to be wrong every now and then. Like, he sat up and watched John Cena's promo from yesterday. Like, he watched it 30 times and memorized that shit. Like, it was like, ain't this the same shit I just heard on Raw?
I have a feeling that's exactly what happened.
It was ominously similar, but I still say Marshe Rocket did that better when he got his victim cookies.
I mean, but Marshe didn't sound like that. And again, it didn't happen right after. But again, my big issue is the disrespect of women you know, and he believes that and I'm glad you pointed it out. You know, all clicks aren't good clicks. And then at the end he tried to rationalize it by people that are on Twitter uh can they do this thing and all, and they're putting, first of all, nobody's getting paid. Russell, you're not getting paid because you're getting clicks and views. Sorry, sir. Doesn't You're not there. And grasp the concept, like you said, some people are clicking just to laugh at you. And not so much as just some people. Let's be honest, there are other promoters, there are other promotions that are out there watching his foolishness and saying to themselves,
like Frontline Pro and our good friend Chris Lockman. Hello, Chris. You're gonna have to let us mop up for a second, Chris, because we just ran through a shitstorm of chaos with Queen J.R. Lindsay. We're just reacting to that, and then we're gonna go right into Frontline. You have to watch this show back, Chris, later, because when you see it, you won't believe it. Because I don't believe it.
Oh, I'm sure I'd believe it. I've seen some of the stuff that he's posted online, and I can only imagine some of the stuff he's going to say to react to anything or to set some stuff off. So I get it, guys.
I'm still in shock. Red, finish your thought.
all clicks aren't good clicks. And like I said, there are promotions, there are people in this business. He seems to still forget I know a ton of fucking people.
Mm-hmm.
And I can easily make a phone call and say no. People still reach out to me and say, hey man, this kid, he's in your area. Is this a good kid or not waste my time? And they can fucking call me about him. You think I'm gonna give him? No.
Not after what happened, boy.
And not even that, but just the simple fact, like I said, like he finds this all fun and games, and but then you try to disrespect Cactus, Lux, and that's why I draw the line. For the longest, this is my personal belief, she has been in his corner since she joined the powwow.
Right.
Since the day she joined, that has been one of her people, right?
Yep.
And all of a sudden, he feels like he can shit on her legacy, shit on her teammates and everybody in the Chicago Knockouts. No, I will not let you disrespect these athletes who go out there month after month, put their bodies on the line, and your ass couldn't even deal with being a fight ref for half a fucking show.
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up, Russell.